Well,
I mean,
LT, I got a guy here who's in the lobby who we're going to bring on right now, who knows a little bit about these close games in the ACC. He's experienced them himself. Now he's unfortunately seeing them unfold from the sideline, and that's De'Ara King. And De'Ara, welcome to the Lamar Thomas Show.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
how
Oh,
you
it's a
doing,
pleasure, man.
Mr. King? How you doing, Mr. King?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty
Had,
good.
had a great chance to talk to you during the Paradise Camp. I enjoyed our conversation. Uh, I want to ask you the first question I want to ask you, and I've always wanted to ask you. Now, I should have asked you that day. Why Miami after leaving Houston?
Yeah, I had a bunch of schools after me when I left Houston, but I thought, I wanted to go somewhere where I could make a difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a couple of schools I was really interested in, and Miami is one of them. So when I officially entered the portal, Coach Diaz was like one of the first coaches to hit me up, and I didn't want to. Nothing mattered to me besides ball, right? So I didn't care what city it was in,
Yeah.
if it was conference, this and that. So like for me, looking at the 2019 season, they have 4 losses. They lost to FIU, Duke, Georgia Tech, and La Tech, right? And a lot of those games was decided by field goals or here and there, or they might have lost the game for this reason. And I was just looking forward to play with really good defense. I thought Coach Diaz was like a really good defense coordinator, defensive coach, and I wanted to go to Miami. I can make a difference right away.
So you decided to come here, and actually, you come here and you played a year, but you start recruiting other guys, man.
Yeah.
I mean, how did that go? Like, I mean, how do you get on the phone with the guy and say, "Hey, man, I heard you talking about leaving, man. You want to come play alongside me?" I mean, is that what was going on?
Yeah, I mean, I think college football. I think all the really the good players. We all know each other, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for example, like Quincy Roche, I played against him while I was in Houston. He was a really good player at Temple when I played against him, so I knew of him. Jared Williams was a really good offensive tackle for me in Houston. I think everything just fell in place. And I was talking to him, telling him why the reason I was coming and what I wanted to do at Miami. They all just kind of came along.
It sounds like, and just from being around the program while you've been there, you're such a great leader that you have this it factor where you like the Pied Piper. You can get guys to come along. You just blow your horn, and they come out here and want to be your teammate. Has it always been that way? How did you develop that whole thing of being that guy? And to even talk about it, go further, I recruited a guy named Lamar Jackson, and he was that same type of guy where the teammates, they all wanted to be his teammate. How did you develop that? When did you know that you had that it factor?
I think at a young age, like growing up a coach's kid, I've been around
Mm-hmm.
football. I've been around locker room my whole life. My dad was a high school coach for my whole life, so just being a kid around that, and him raising me and just telling me like it's bigger than ball, right? So like my biggest thing is I want to come to a team where I want to know about your family. I want to know about your brother, sister, your mom, dad, how you grew up. And I think this makes all good leaders, good leaders. I think because the more you know about your teammates, the better relationship you guys have. That's why I'm big on relationships.
LT, you guys always had leaders, obviously, on your teams all through the years. But I'll tell you something. I mean, I have rarely seen, and I've been around Miami football, as you know, for 4 decades now, and I've rarely seen a kid come into this program and just put the whole dang thing on his back the way De'Ara King has the last 2 years. And it started the minute that he signed, and he just reinvigorated the whole program, LT. I mean, they were coming off some down times, and last year I felt that De'Ara King made the difference between 5 wins and 8 wins. And I'm not saying this, De'Ara, just because you're on the show with us. I mean, I felt that he was the difference, a 3-game difference.
At least 3, yeah.
At least 3. Just his presence on the roster, the plays he made. I think back to the NC State game, De'Ara, the career performance that you put out there, the Virginia Tech game last year. You took this entire program that was struggling big time, and in my opinion, you saved it from a disaster last year. In putting all those wins up. And then, now you're coming into this year, and I could only imagine what you're thinking going into this year. This is my year. This is my team. And my God, man, it's like, and I want you to talk about it. It's like from second one up there in Atlanta against Alabama, just nothing went according to script at all. And
Yeah.
so just give us a little summation about, your viewpoint on all of that.
Yeah, I mean, every time I think about it, I get emotional, man, just because, this, I mean, obviously not what I wanted to happen, but, like you said, we had really big plans coming back. Everybody came back to this team. Um, I thought we had a really good winter, really good spring, really good summer. Everybody was locked in. Nobody was veering off from what we need to do. And then, you play Alabama week one of the best teams in the country, best head coach of all time. And, we fully expected to win that game. Like, we thought we had a good game plan, good practice, good get to win it. But, you go in there, you don't, right? We shit the bed on offense. Excuse my language, but we don't play good on offense. We don't play good on defense. We don't play good on special teams. And that game was just kind of it was just kind of like a weird feeling. Like we planned to go in there, be aggressive, shoot, take our shot, have nothing to lose. But we lose that game, and we come back, play a good App-State team that we felt like that we should have handled, and we win by 2 points. But we get our first win of the season. Now we're expecting to roll, expecting to keep going, play. At the time, a Michigan State team that I think we were the favorites to win that game, right? A Michigan State team that was, they had a really good running back, a solid defense, and a decent quarterback. And we go in that game, and I think deep down inside, I know if I didn't separate my shoulder, tear my HC joint on the first drive of the third quarter, I think the game was totally different. After I separate, and honestly, like for me, like people would say what they want to say about the program, the coaches, and all that, but at the end of the day, I think the first couple games come down to we wasn't playing good as players, right? I think we just wasn't playing good, and I wasn't playing good. Starts with me. A lot of guys that starters and leaders of this team, we just wasn't playing good. We wasn't all there, and I felt like Michigan State game was gonna be the game that we picked it up, right? Everything started clicking. We started rolling, started winning like we're supposed to do. But for me, I can from my performance, I can say a turnover in the first possession of the game while we moved the ball on the field, that was rough. And then separating my shoulder the first drive in the second half, and just trying to play through that. I probably should have just set out, got healthy, but I tried to come back and fight through it. I think it ended up making it worse, but now we're here. So,
All right, so let's go back to Alabama.
yeah.
All right, you played obviously a few years against Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, at Houston. Then you come to Miami. You went through the entire season last year. I'm guessing that you're going to tell us right now you've never seen anything like what you saw with Alabama that night.
Yeah, I mean they have a really good team. They have a really good front seven, honestly. But I think a lot of us would tell you that playing that game. I think we could have. Obviously, we have to play our best game, right? But I think we could have hang with them. We just went out there and we didn't perform. A lot of missed opportunities out there, a lot of misplays. But yeah, I think Alabama's front seven is one of the best I've played in college football.
And also you're getting crushed. I mean, you're coming off an injury, and you got to fight through that. I mean, let's be honest, that's not easy.
No.
You got to fight through that, and you're getting crushed out there. What's going through your head?
Yeah. So obviously I wanted to play that game, so I kind of rushed my knee coming back. But I felt right. I felt healthy. I was doing camp. They had me on 2 days on, 1 day off. So I would practice for 2 days, and the third day we kind of, I do individual 7-on-7 routes on air, but I went with really good team reps because they wanted, my knee to get healthy. And a lot of people, I don't think anybody know this, but Alabama game when I got strip sacked, I got blindsided. I re-injured my knee. I tore another ligament in the back of my knee. I don't think anybody knew about that, and I came back after we flew back to Miami that day, and then that next Sunday I got an MRI and X-ray and all that, and it wasn't my ACL, which is thank God. It was a small ligament that I could play through, so I played through App State game with not a lot of practice that week as far as me running the ball and just getting team rep because I was trying to get healthy for the game, and so I just had to play through it, try to go out there and win some games.
I want to ask you this: what do you think? while you were playing, what was your strength? What was your main strength that when you sit back and you think of your time at the University of Miami? What was your main strength and what you brought to the table?
Yeah, as far as football, and I think I was like extending plays, running around back there. But I think my main strength that I brought to this team was leadership. I know it sounded like cliche, but I think it's truly that's what I brought to the team. And I'm a very confident guy. I'm a quiet confidence, but I'm super super confident. And I don't go any game thinking we're gonna lose. I make sure my team feel the same way that we can be anybody. So I think confidence and leadership.
Let's talk about TVD.
Yeah.
He's got nicknames already, Derek. They're calling him Tyler Van Dynamite, Tyler Van Dimes.
Yeah.
I know you've played a role in what he's been doing the last few weeks. Talk a little bit about what you're seeing from TVD and just the way he's sort of like blossomed the last few weeks.
Yeah, he's playing really good. I think his first couple games, it was a confidence thing. I was gonna win him every single day watching tape practice. But he works extremely hard, and he's one of the hard workers on our team since he got here. So especially this spring when I wasn't playing, he kind of stepped up, became really good. He had a really good spring, had a really good camp. So I mean, I think it was best for him to be playing how he's playing. He deserves it.
Watching practice, there really wasn't a discernible difference really in the throws and stuff that were being made. And even when you were out there and Jake and TVD and you were out there throwing balls in practice, I mean, all three of you are looking more than competent, and you're seeing that the quarterback position at Miami is moving into a decent place. But I said this last night on a show we have, I think that if there's maybe 150 people in the Miami football program, when you factor in coaches and trainers and everybody, I think if you took a poll in early September of who is going to succeed De'Ara King at quarterback at the University of Miami, I think there would have been a pretty sizable majority that would have said Jake Garcia. And here's why. Because Tyler's quiet. He just does his thing.
Yeah.
You don't ever see anything demonstrative out of him at that point in time.
Yeah.
And Jake is Mr. Flamboyant. I mean, he's, you see his leadership, you see how he bonds with his teammates, the energy he brings, and all those things. And I think almost everybody out there, if they did an anonymous vote where nobody had to declare their vote, it was like written on a piece of paper, silent. I think almost everybody out there would have said Jake Garcia. Well, so now Tyler kind of works his way into this. And from what I understand, talking to people, this is a whole different beast that we're dealing with now. I mean, he's confident. He's got voted a team captain after you got injured. He's taken that role. He's talking to guys on defense. He's making predictions, Derek, that the team's going to score 70 points against NC State. I mean, this is a kid that has totally come out of his shell on steroids. I mean, let's be honest. He's out of control. Talk about that from your viewpoint.
Yeah, I mean, he was always like that with us, right? He just didn't show it to other people. As far as quarterbacks, not even the whole team. He's a confident dude. You know what I mean? And I think, like you said, I think social media plays a lot into people thinking, one player is going to be better than this player and this and that. And Tyler, the whole time, Tyler just put his head down and just kept working. Like I said, he's one of the hard workers I ever been teammates with, and I like to see him. I'm glad he's coming out of the show now, right? I'm glad he's talking his talk. You know what I'm saying, and doing what he got to do. I'm happy for him.
I got to ask you this, man, and this is a tough question right here, because I've always wondered. I've known a lot of pretty decent quarterbacks.
Yeah.
when the offensive lineman miss blocks, or when the receiver runs the wrong route, or the running back misses a block, how hard is it for you guys to not say, raise your hands like we do? You know how we do. Receivers, we do that whole thing. We'll show you up. We're like, hey, man, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
How hard is it to not do that? Because as we well saw, you were running around a couple games for your life. and offensive line not playing well, receivers doing their thing, and tight ends not. How hard is it for you mentally? Because obviously, as a leader, you're trying to do the right thing to try to. I mean, but inside, you got to be saying, "Come on, man, God dang!" But how hard is that, man? I just want to know
Um,
this.
Man, I think it's pretty hard. You know what I mean? I think like during the game when stuff like that happens, like you don't really know why it's happening. Like, you don't
Right.
know, oh, this guy missed a block or this guy, you know what I mean? But when you come back on that Sunday and watch that tape, and you're like, okay, well, this is why I got killed right here, or this why this wasn't open. It's kind of you got to go up to guys and have that conversation like, yo, I need you to come on because like at the end of the day, get killed. But you got to do it in the right way, right? You can't go out
Yeah.
there, you can't be an
Yeah.
asshole about it. Feel me? You can't
Yeah.
go out there and just cuss everybody out, do this, do that. You
Yeah.
got to do it in the right way. And I think that's what I did my whole career. So I tried to do it in the right way.
And that's what true leaders do, man. You look at some of those guys who've been really successful, and that's how they carry themselves. They don't really embarrass anybody,
Yeah,
and that's very important. I saw that from you from when you got here. I was very impressed with that because I'm always looking at the quarterback receiver relationship,
yeah,
and I want to see how it goes. And again, um, when you recruit kids, you watch them in high school. I watch them in high school, and I say, how does his teammates relate to him? How does he relate to his teammates? And it's big for me. I don't want a quarterback that's out there pointing blame and saying, "Hey, it's your fault." I want a guy that's saying, even though it ain't his fault, saying, "My bad. We're gonna get better."
sure.
That's important to me on the sideline when I'm standing down there, as a recruiter. And you've seen a lot of you at your high school games. There are a lot of guys that were standing near with their hands crossed. They're watching you guys on the sideline. I mean, to me, that's very impressive.
Yeah, and I think my dad always told me like growing up, like playing quarterback my whole life is when everything's going good, you get all the glory. When it's going bad, you get all the blame. So I just kind of by nature kind of I take it. When we lose a game and everybody Derek, I just know how to take it. Right, I really put it on me than other guys. 'Cause I know I can handle it.
So, hey, De'Aaron, what was your plan for De'Aaron King for this year? I assume it was to have a phenomenal season, convince the NFL I deserve a shot to play in the league, and you, I'm sure, had this whole plan in place as we began the month of September.
Yeah.
What are your days like now? Like, what are you doing now to stay busy? I'm sure you're working with Tyler
Yeah.
quite a bit. What are your days like now?
Everything's the same. I still go to meetings every single day. I go to practice every day, and I do my rehab. So it's really the same days as far as football. Obviously, I have a class I got to attend. But other than that, just really trying to get healthy. I get cleared first week of January. Then I'm off and running in the pre-draft stuff. So it's really the same thing as when I was doing before I got injured.
Bro, that should be something said for that. I mean, you could be. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
It's hard.
As a receiver,
Yeah.
if I ain't playing, man, I don't know how much I'm in there trying to help the rest of them kids, man. But I mean, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
But kudos to you, bro, because you're helping these guys and you're still around. That's some awesome stuff. But that again, it goes to everything you talked about, what you've been groomed to do and what you enjoy doing. And those NFL scouts, they'll know about that. They'll
Yeah.
know about that because they're going to do their research
Yes, sir.
and they're going to know all these positives about you. But man, you could, because the thing is, I'm pretty sure that when pro scouts come in, they're going to ask, well, was he around after he got hurt? Like, hell yeah, he was around.
Yeah.
Shit, we couldn't get rid of him.
Yeah.
It's kudos to you, brother. Kudos to you.
It's definitely hard. Just you go from being a guy, being a starting quarterback, leader of the team, to practicing every day and being with these guys. And now it's definitely hard for me to go out there and watch them do things, like watch them practice, watch them play in the game. But at the end of the day, I think that's what's best for me. And at the same time, after I get done playing ball, I want to get into coaching. So I'm kind of taking this time to learn the ins and outs of that. So I'm trying to prepare myself.
So you're at every practice, every meeting?
Yes, sir.
That's amazing. And are you actively involved with Tyler in learning the game plan and reviewing the progressions and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, because last year I played all these teams we playing now, and I kind of I know the ins and outs what they run on defense, how they like to play it. So we just have obviously I'm in the meeting with Coach Lashley. I listen to Coach Lashley, and after practice, me and Tyler sometimes go up there watch tape. He asks what I think about him, like where should I attack? Just the regular things that we just conversate about. Yeah, so I try to help as much as possible.
And I don't know if you know this, but on Wednesday nights when he's done with you guys,
Yeah.
he's getting on a FaceTime call with Malik Rozier. Do you know who Malik is?
Yeah, yes, sir.
He's getting on a FaceTime with Malik Rozier, and he's doing the same damn thing for another hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
From a whole other viewpoint.
Yes, sir. It's big time.
I mean, that's big time work, Lamar.
Right there.
Hey, I got to ask you this. Okay, here we go. Man, I'm so glad I got you on the show. What do you think about Stephen Field? That's my guy. I coach with him at Hampton University. Has he really lost weight?
He lost some weight for real. Like he lost a bunch of weight. That's my dude. I guess he's been working hard. He look good now. Look skinny a little bit.
Let me tell you about the guy. The guy would tell me. He said, "LT, I just did 10 laps walking." I said, "That's a lie. I saw you do 2." He said, "LT, I'm down 40 pounds." I go, "That's a lie. You look like you're down 10." That's my guy, man. I love that guy, man. He's a very energetic guy. He's a funny dude. He's really funny.
Real funny. I don't know if you lost all that weight or just wear all black every day. All black makes it skinny a little bit. So.
Oh yeah. He will do. Hey, has he hit you with this one? If he's like trying to talk to you and somebody else talk to you and he said, "Nice talking to you." Has he hit you with that one?
Yes,
that is him. That is him. Yeah. He loves to pull that one on. "Nice talking to you."
Yes, sir.
Hey, bro, I was in the middle of another conversation.
That's my dude right there.
What about, okay, here we go. Let's get on some more codes. Okay, what about DVD? What you think of DVD?
That's my dog. DVD. That's my dog since day one. Since I got here, we had a pretty good relationship. Good coach. He can relate to everybody on the team. So, he's a really good coach.
And T-Rob, you tell T-Rob to stop running from me. After the season over, I'm going to tear his ass up on the golf course. Tell him that I said, I talked to Lamar Thomas, he said stop running from him on the golf course. I know he in the season now, but I'm going to still keep texting him. You tell him I said stop running from him.
I will. You can golf a little bit?
Yeah, man. I'm like about a 40-something handicap, man. You got that NIL money, so you bring that to the golf course, man.
I'm broke.
Huh? Yeah, no, you need to bring some of that NIL money to the golf course. I'll show you what to do with it. You know what I mean?
We can do that.
All right, that sounds good. So you really enjoy the staff. I mean,
yeah.
The guys I've met on that staff, Likens and Lashley and all those guys, seem like really, really good guys. Obviously, it was tough in the beginning, but I'm pretty sure everything is kind of rolling now. How are those guys, man? How are they?
I really enjoy the staff. I've been in my career, I think I had 4 or 5 different head coaches, right? So I've been around a bunch of different staffs, and I've been around staff that man, I don't want to go in the building every day just to be around them. But this staff I really enjoy, going in every single day, building everybody. It's really like a family atmosphere for real. So.
Hey, Derek, have there been times when you're watching what Tyler's doing out there the last few weeks and you're like, wow? Like, I know I've been like that. I mean, he made a couple plays the other day at Pittsburgh, and I'm sitting up there in the press box just going, wow. That rope that he threw on 3rd down with pressure in his face.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a wow moment. The play where he took off and had a run for the 1st down and have the instincts to do that. And there have been several others, obviously. Do you find yourself saying wow, too, watching them?
Yeah, for sure. Especially, on Sundays, go back in there and really break the tape down. Some of the throws he's making when people in his face and hitting them, knocking them out. It's really impressive. He's played really, really good the last couple of weeks. I think he's going to keep it up, too.
And, we were talking to Coach Lashley this week, and Coach Lashley was saying how the Virginia game, that he was too tight. Like, he called the game too conservative. And he's thinking, I got, Tyler Van Dyke starting, and he hasn't played a Power 5 game before. Yeah. And, Lamar and I were talking before, like almost any coach would make the same strategical decision in their minds. But Tyler has shown him that he's capable of doing way more quickly than probably anybody ever imagined.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like you said, I mean, it's first start, right? First start playing a Power 5 team, first conference game. I think they were trying to get him going. Run the ball a little bit, get some easy access throws. But now he showed everybody what he could do. So I think now the playbook is wide open, which it should be.
All right, here's another question for you.
But,
Rambo.
yeah.
Rambo was on here last week.
Yeah.
He said, man, you called him up and was like, yo, bro, what's up? Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that conversation. I mean,
Yeah.
back in the day, we didn't do that. But this is the new day and age. Y'all just call up friends and say, hey, come play with me. Come on, man, let's do it. How did that conversation go, man?
Yeah, I mean, I had got worried that he was thinking about transferring. So I kind of knew about him already. He played at Cedar Hill. I played at Melville, two really good high schools in Texas. And I played against him in 2019. So our first game in Houston versus Oklahoma, first game of the year, and he killed us. He took a slant 60, caught a fade ball, and I knew about Rambo already. So when I got word that he was thinking about entering the portal, and then we actually did, I was on him. I was texting him every day, calling him every day. Telling him he could be a big difference here, which he's showing that he is now. I knew what kind of player he was, so I'm excited. I'm glad that he's here right now.
And he's been balling, man. He's been playing really great, huh?
It's some Texas boys. It's a different breed out there. I tell y'all, it's different.
Oh, really? All right. So let's go there, Derek. Since you opened that can of worms. All right. You've played with Texas boys. You've played with Florida guys.
Yeah.
Florida is totally, is convinced here that this is where it begins and ends for young football players coming up. Texas has obviously always been considered number 2 or number 3 with California. What do you think?
Number 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's Texas, Florida, Cali, then Georgia. Texas is first by far.
Why?
It's a different breed. Like you go to Texas. First of all, we do everything that the colleges do in high school, right? Now, I will say this. I respect Florida athletes. They have really good athletes. They blossom later on, right? Which is good. Texas and Florida always got the most guys in the NFL. But I think it's nothing like Texas high school football. And if you ask any coach that coach in Miami that recruits Texas or coach in Texas, they'll tell you. But they told us it's nothing like Texas high school football as far as team, O-line, D-line, coaches, scheme, scouting report. I hear they go out there. And honestly, I've been looking at Florida high school football or just keeping up with it a little bit since I moved out here. And every game I see is 21-17, 14-7. Like nobody scored points out here. They got a few good quarterbacks, you know what I mean? O-line is kind of scarce a little bit. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, but Texas O-line, D-line, trenches, and quarterbacks, linebackers, it's a different breed than any other state in America.
Okay. Okay. Well, first of all, your coaches are getting paid out there, so they can take it a little bit more serious than our coaches. The dude just getting off work from being a bounce at the club or something. You got real coaches out there who actually are getting paid. I can understand that. Now, but as far as yes, we do have really good athletes, but I got to tell you, you guys really get coached a lot better. I think the state takes it a lot more serious than our. Not saying our coaches in Florida don't take it serious. They're doing the best they can with what they have, and they have a lot. But when you're only getting a stipend, how hard you gonna really put into that? You got guys in Texas who are really getting paid. They're gonna put something into that. They're gonna teach you guys on a 24-hour basis.
Yeah, every head coach out there making 6 figures at the least. And
wow.
During school period, like a fifth period, a whole hour and a half is whatever sport you play, football, basketball, track. It's based on your sport. So we have a period in the middle of class. It's all football, and that period is when we lift. You know what I mean? And our coaches not history teachers. Like our head coach is just a head coach. They don't got a coach, science class. They go out there and coach football. That's what they do. So they're different.
And they make 6 figures?
Yeah. My head coach made.
So are you thinking when you're done playing football, I'm going back to Texas and coaching?
You ain't coming to Florida.
I want to coach college. So
hey, you gotta start off. Start low, build it up. But hey, if you go to Texas and make 6 figures, I mean, we might not never see you in college. I mean, let's just be real.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to coach college though. I want to get to that point.
so have you gone to you? So you've gone to any high school games down here?
I haven't. So like last year, we most of the
Yeah.
time we at the hotel. We at the hotel on
Right.
Friday. Go to
Right.
coach
Yeah.
thing. This year, I really haven't been able to go any. I wanted to go to the last week. I think Northwestern played somebody. They got
Central. Yeah.
Northwestern got killed. I wanted to go to that game,
Yeah.
but not going.
Well, it's not like obviously, as you well know, the Texas games,
Yeah,
which are packed to
they can't,
capacity.
can't compare that. Yeah,
No, but they still get it on a little bit. But
yeah.
uh, it's really no comparison. I went to when I coached in the Alliance of American Football League. We had to spend a month in San Antonio,
Okay.
and the high school stadium we practiced in, I was blown away. Like, this is a high school stadium?
Yeah. Like I think we had a scrimmage at a stadium. They call it the Mecca. What's the best stadium out here in Miami? They call it
Mecca, the Trash Pile.
yeah,
Trash Pile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this the Mecca. All the big games
Yeah.
go down.
Yeah.
Like, it's the practice field to us. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's on. If we play that trash pile in Texas, we have to add 20,000 more bleachers in there
Wow.
to fit everybody. Every big
Wow.
game, like honestly, no cap, like in playoffs, all big games, it'll be 40, 50,000 at the game. We got to move to NRG.
Wow.
Whole
That's
bottom,
unbelievable.
yeah,
Unbelievable.
it's a different breed.
My roommate was from Houston, Texas. He went to Madison, and so when he came down, Charles Farm, when he came down here, we went to high school games, and he looked very uninterested. And now I understand why.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
so I live in a small town right outside of Houston. It's Houston, but it's called Melville. Every Friday night, everything shut down. Gas station, Waterburger, Sonics,
Wow.
everything closed. And everybody go to the game. After the game, it'll be back open. But during
Wow.
the game, closed. Yeah.
That's unbelievable, man. That is. I'm just happy. I'm really excited. I'm really happy that you were able to come here and show some leadership, because I think the program needed it. Needed a guy that was the face of the program who could handle it. And I thought you handled yourself well. Um, Wins and losses, you still handled yourself regardless with class. And I really appreciate that. I really enjoyed our conversation we had during Paradise Camp. And I know you didn't know who the hell I was, but I knew who you were. And it was great talking to you.
It's Lamar's fault that helmets are not allowed to come off in games, Derek.
I already know. Trust me, I know.
He used to pull that thing off. I mean, every catch, and he's ripping it off and running circles around the stadium. And...
I remember I watched all the documentaries. I know.
It's not true. It's not true, brother. I had it was a couple of times ants got in my helmet, so I had to take it off. Yeah, I had to take it off, make sure I didn't get no bites. But man, again though, I'm excited. The fact that you were able to come here and you were able to help this program, and now you're still helping the program. I mean, that's just kudos to who you are and your family and everybody, your coaches along the way that have installed a lot of good traits in you. Because again, you could be off, with Instagram models and stuff like that, and chilling in the grill. I'm not going to say who, but
he could be back in Houston right now.
He could be back in Houston. I mean, there's so many other variables.
He doesn't have to be here anymore. He could be in Houston
right here, dog.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy, man. You still here. You doing it, and you know what? You're putting yourself on the right track, regardless of if your playing career continues to go on. You're figuring out, and continue to figure out about this whole coaching thing.
Yeah.
Because you can always fall back on that if but get learn the basics of it, because obviously coaching is teaching, it's mentoring. There's so much that goes into it, and you from what I've known about you and what I've heard about you, you're definitely on the right track of doing all that, because kids will want to listen to you because they know you're going to shoot it straight, and you've already proven that you know what you're doing. So kudos to you.
Appreciate that.
Hey, Derek, before we let you go, let's talk about the future. Let's talk about the next few months. So you're rehabbing from the surgery, and you're rehabbing that other ligament, I assume, in your knee that you tweaked earlier in the season. I mean, I feel for you. You've got had a long road of rehab the last year or so. you say you're going to be cleared in January. Now, I imagine now I'm not going to suggest it would be at Miami or whatever, that if you wanted to play another year of college football, you probably could apply for a waiver and have a decent chance of getting that accepted. So that would be one option for you. The other option would be to immediately start training for workouts and pro day and things like that for the NFL and seeing where you stand there. What's the future look like to you?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely not going back to college. I could get another year.
You're done with college football.
Done with college, so
okay.
Yeah, I get cleared in January. I'm gonna immediately start training. I'll train at a bunch of different positions. I already got invited to a couple All-Star games. I'm waiting to see. I got invited to the East Restaurant already. Waiting on Senior Bowl. I've been talking with them for a little minute, so I'm just gonna try and get ready for that, and see what happens.
Okay, and you expect to be totally healthy by that like February timeline?
Yeah, like I said, because this is just AC joint and separated shoulder, so they got that back in place, and now it's just 6 weeks of letting the ligament heal, and then 6 weeks getting my strength back, and that's all it is. So I expect to be fully healthy for it.
Well, brother, you need to continue to pump up those kids in that locker room. Make sure you tell Sam in that equipment room I will be calling him.
For sure. I got
you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tell Stephen Phil that he needs to continue his weight loss program and that he looking pretty fit out there on the sideline. I don't know how fit, but he looking fit. You tell him I said, and tell old DVD. Tell old DVD. He's a good dude, man. You tell old DVD I said, and T-Rob, you tell them guys, tell them I said what's up, all right? You got that for me?
I got you, yep.
This guy, man, I like this kid, man.
He's the man. I'm telling you, Lamar, I meant what I said. I mean, I've seen very few people come through this program in 40 years that captivated everybody the way this guy has. And
the fact that Gary, he talked to me when he didn't know who the hell I was, I appreciate that. No, man, bro. I can tell by looking around like, who the hell is this dude talking to me?
I knew
But I appreciate it. I was like, you know what? He playing the role. I appreciate that. I love it.
I knew you was. Sure.
And we're pulling for you, man. I hope we get to see football again.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Enjoy it.
Have a good one.
Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you, dear.